Hey guys, myself Shivang this side, working as a DevRel at Router Protocol, and welcome back to the Module 5, Architectural Components Part 1 of Understanding Router Chain course. So let's get started. First, we'll be talking about some applications contracts. So these contracts are deployed on the application side by the third-party chains and serve as an intermediary between the users of the application and the router chain cross-chain infra. In the lifecycle of a cross-chain transaction, these contracts are responsible for making the isend function call to the gateway contracts on the source chain by passing the address of bridge contract on the router chain as well as the relevant payload. Now talking about the gateway contracts. Gateway contracts, first we'll be talking about isend function, the application contract on the source chain call its corresponding bridge contract on the router chain by invoking the isend function on the gateway contract with relevant parameters. Upon receiving this function call, the gateway contract emits an event that is listened on the router chain orchestrator. iReceive function. The bridge contract on the router chain can call its application contract on the destination chain by submitting an outbound request with the relevant parameters. Relayers will eventually submit the outbound request to this destination chain by invoking the iReceive function on the gateway contract, which will subsequently pass the payload to destination contract. Set DAP metadata. This facilitates the cross-chain transaction. A fee pair address needs to be set for the paying fee on router chain. This can be achieved using the set metadata DAP function available on the gateway contracts. Orchestrators. Router orchestrators are the entities that listen to the incoming cross-chain requests from other chains and attest their validity. They parse them into a unified format, post them on the router chain. These attested requests can be then picked up by the relayers and forwarded to the destination chain. All validators must run an orchestrator instance to be a part of the router chain ecosystem. Now we'll be understanding the orchestrator architecture of router chain. So in an orchestrator instance, we have a listener, we have a messaging queue, and we have a dispatcher. In the listener, we have the listeners of different chains. It can be EVM, Polkadot, Solana, any listener. All these listeners then collectively queue up their messages in the router queue, which is then signed and broadcasted via dispatcher, and later on it goes to the router chain. Thank you, and let's meet in the module next one.